Hello learners, welcome to Week 3 Physics Friday. This week we're going to be looking at speed and acceleration graphing. Now some of this is going to look familiar, but we're going to add some new elements today. So let's start off with the basics, calculating speed. Now up to this point you've been calculating average speed by looking at total distance divided by total time. In this case we have a total distance of 6 kilometers divided by 50 minutes. Which gives us 0.12 kilometers per minute or 7.2 kilometers per hour. Now we'll tell you it's very common for you to have to convert units during these types of problems. So converting minutes to hours, oftentimes the problem will give you the value in, say, minutes, but then your solutions, you're asked to calculate it in hours. So make sure you're watching that closely so you can make those necessary conversions. Now this graph looks very different from the last one. However, if we take a look at our average speed, our total distance is still 6 kilometers and our total time is still 50 minutes. So we once again get 6 kilometers divided by 50 minutes, which gives us 0.12 kilometers per minute or 7.2 kilometers per hour. However, this graph is not quite the same as the one we saw previously. And what we're actually looking at is something called intervals. So that's what we're going to be calculating now. We're going to be looking at this first interval. So we look at the first distance starting from the origin to the first point in the graph. And we see that it is a distance of 3 kilometers. And it goes over a time of 20 minutes. So for our speed 1 interval, we get 3 kilometers divided by 20 minutes, which is 0.15 kilometers per minute or 9 kilometers per hour. For our second interval, we start out at the end point of the first interval and go, in this case, to the end of the graph. So our distance is 3 kilometers, our time is 30 minutes. So we get 3 kilometers divided by 30 minutes or 0.1 kilometers per minute or 6 kilometers per hour. Let's look at one more graph. So in this graph, we've actually got 3 different intervals. All right, so once again, as we're calculating this, we're going to look at them one interval at a time. All right, so interval 1, starting at the origin, our distance is 3 kilometers, and our time is 20 minutes. So once again, 3 kilometers divided by 20 minutes gives us 0.15 kilometers per minute, or 9 kilometers per hour. Now, this next section is very interesting because if you'll see, the distance traveled is actually 0 because the starting point of the interval is 3 kilometers and the ending point of the interval is 3 kilometers. So no distance was actually traveled. However, 10 minutes did go by. So we put our values in for distance and our values in for time. And of course, 0 kilometers divided by 10 minutes gives us 0 kilometers per minute and 0 kilometers per hour. Our third interval is 3 kilometers. Time is 20 minutes. And so, looking very similar to our first interval. Now, what I want you to notice is the angle of the first interval and the second interval. You notice that they're very, very similar in their angles. And that makes sense considering their speed is the same. All right, let's take a look at our assignment for today. So the first part of your assignment, calculating average speed, is you're going to record 3 distances and times for 3 different activities outside your house. Now, if you can't go outside for whatever reason, please contact Mr. Beckwith. Let me know your situation. That way I can okay you staying inside. Otherwise, let's see you guys outside getting some fresh air. All right. Once you've collected your data, you're going to create 3 speed graphs representing those activities. Now again, you can use whatever distance you would like, and you can use however much time you would like. Several of you have already got some distance and time data from some previous assignments. You're welcome to use that. But you'll need 3 total. Now for at least one of your activities and your graphs, you need to have at least 2 different intervals. So it's okay for a couple of your graphs to look like that first graph, but at least one of your graphs needs to show at least 2 different intervals, which means you're going to have to measure a checkpoint along the way for whatever activity that you're doing. This could be a little bit challenging. One option, though, is to actually do a video recording. That way you can take a look at the timestamp. If you have a distance marker set up, then this will also help you accomplish this. If you're having trouble setting up the assignment, feel free to come to Digital CI and talk to Mr. Beckwith about it. All right? Have fun, guys, and if you have any questions, as always, let me know.